The civil court judge said I had full custody of my daughter. The Sharia court judge said my ex-husband had full custody because she was Muslim now. Both courts said their ruling was valid. Both courts said the other court had no jurisdiction. And my daughter was caught in the middle, converted to a religion without my knowledge or consent when she was only 3 years old, taken from me by a legal system I could not even enter because I was not Muslim. My name is Christina Lee, and I am a Canadian woman living in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. I have been fighting for 3 years to get my daughter back from my ex-husband, who converted her to Islam without my knowledge or permission. He used Malaysia's dual legal system, civil courts and Sharia courts running parallel to each other, as a weapon against me. And now I am trapped between 2 court systems that refuse to acknowledge each other's authority, while my daughter grows up without me, being taught that I am not her real mother because we do not share a religion. This is the story of how one man's religious conversion destroyed my family. How Malaysia's complicated dual legal system created a loophole that allows fathers to unilaterally convert their children without the other parent's consent. And how I am still fighting a battle I may never win, because the law allows fathers to forum shop between 2 different court systems, depending on which one will give them what they want. If you are considering marrying someone from Malaysia, or if you are already married to a Malaysian and thinking about having children there, I need you to hear every single word of this story, because what happened to me could happen to you. And by the time you realize what is happening, it will be far too late to protect yourself or your children. I met Kumar Subramaniam in Vancouver in 2016. I was 28 years old, working as a physiotherapist at a sports medicine clinic in downtown Vancouver. I loved my job, loved helping athletes recover from injuries and get back to their sports. I had a good life. An apartment near False Creek, close friends from university, regular dinners with my parents who lived in Richmond. Kumar was 30, working in information technology for a Malaysian tech company that had opened an office in Vancouver. We met through mutual friends at a hiking group that did weekend trips to places like the North Shore Mountains and Squamish. Kumar was Malaysian Indian, Hindu, born and raised in Kuala Lumpur but living in Canada on a work visa. Kumar was smart, funny, kind. He loved hiking and the outdoors as much as I did. We would spend hours on trails, talking about everything, from philosophy to politics to our dreams for the future. He told me about Malaysia, about the diversity of cultures there, about growing up Hindu in a multicultural society. He made it sound vibrant and harmonious. When he proposed after 2 years of dating, I said yes without hesitation. My parents were supportive. They liked Kumar. He was respectful, hardworking, treated me well. We had a small wedding in Vancouver with both families present. Kumar's parents and younger sister flew in from Kuala Lumpur. They were warm and welcoming. His mother Lakshmi hugged me and said she was gaining a daughter. His father Rajan was more formal, but smiled and said he was happy Kumar had found someone who made him happy. We lived in Vancouver for the first 2 years of our marriage. Kumar was still working for the Malaysian company's Canadian office. I continued my work at the clinic. We had a good life together. We bought a small condo in Burnaby. We were happy. When I got pregnant in 2019, we were both thrilled. We had a daughter, Maya, born in February of 2020 right as COVID was beginning. 6 pounds 12 ounces of absolute perfection. Dark hair like her father. My light brown eyes. I loved her with an intensity that was almost frightening in its power. Kumar was a devoted father in those early months. He would help with nighttime feedings even though he was working from home during lockdowns. He would sing to Maya in Tamil, tell her stories about Hindu gods and goddesses. It was sweet. I thought we were building this beautiful multicultural family where Maya would grow up knowing both her heritages. But things started to change when Maya was about a year old. Kumar began spending a lot of time with a colleague from work, a Malay Muslim man named Rashid. They would have long lunches together, deep philosophical conversations. Kumar started asking me questions about religion, about meaning and purpose, about spirituality. Then one day in early 2022, when Maya was almost 2 years old, Kumar came home and dropped a bombshell. He said he had converted to Islam, that he had been studying it for months with Rashid's guidance, that it gave him a sense of peace and direction he had never felt with Hinduism. He had taken his Shahada, the Islamic declaration of faith. His new Muslim name was Muhammad Kumar. I was completely blindsided. He had never mentioned he was even considering converting. I asked why he had not discussed it with me first, why he had not told me he was having these spiritual questions. He said it was a personal decision between him and God, that he did not need my permission to find his faith. I said okay. I could respect that, but I hoped he would also respect that I was not interested in converting to Islam, that I was happy with my own beliefs. He said, of course, he would never pressure me, that Islam teaches there is no compulsion in religion, but then he started talking about Maya. He said she should be raised Muslim, that it was his responsibility as a Muslim father to ensure his child was brought up in the faith. I said absolutely not. I said Maya was too young to have a religion chosen for her, that when she was old enough, she could learn about different beliefs and make her own decision. Kumar said no. In Islam, if one parent is Muslim, the children should be Muslim too. It was not negotiable. We started fighting about it constantly, every day. He wanted Maya to learn Islamic prayers, to learn about Islam, to be raised as a Muslim child. I said she was half Canadian, half Malaysian. She should learn about both our backgrounds and both our belief systems. She should have a choice when she was old enough to understand. Our marriage fell apart quickly after that. Kumar became someone I did not recognize. He started praying 5 times a day, something he had never done as a Hindu. He stopped eating certain foods unless they were halal. He wanted me to dress more modestly. When I refused, he became critical and cold. He said if I was not willing to embrace Islam, then maybe I was not the right wife for a Muslim man. By the time Maya was 2.5, I knew I needed to leave. I could not stay married to Kumar. He had fundamentally changed into someone I no longer knew. His entire identity had shifted, and I did not fit into his new life vision. I told him I wanted a divorce. He said fine, but Maya would stay with him. I said absolutely not. Maya is coming with me. We will work out custody arrangements, but she is my daughter and I am not leaving her. He said we would see what the courts decided. I contacted a family lawyer in Vancouver, a woman named Patricia, who specialized in divorce and custody cases. I told her the situation. She said that in Canadian family law, we would likely end up with some form of shared custody, since we were both fit parents. That custody disputes were decided based on the best interests of the child. I filed for divorce and custody. But before the Canadian courts could even schedule a hearing, Kumar did something I never saw coming. He took Maya to Malaysia. He told me he was taking her to visit his parents for 2 weeks. He said his mother was not well and wanted to see her granddaughter. I was suspicious, but Maya was his daughter too, and I did not have legal grounds to prevent him from traveling with her. The divorce had been filed, but we were still married, and both had parental rights. They left for Malaysia. Kumar called me a few days later and said his mother's condition was worse than expected. They needed to stay longer. I said fine, but not more than another week. He said okay. A week passed, then 2 weeks. Kumar stopped answering my calls. I contacted his family in Kuala Lumpur. No one would tell me what was going on. Finally, Kumar sent me an email. He said he was not bringing Maya back to Canada, that she was going to be raised in Malaysia, that I could visit if I wanted, but she was staying there with him. I was frantic. I contacted the Canadian authorities. They said Kumar had not technically committed a crime. He was Maya's father. He had not violated any custody order because there was not one yet. Malaysia and Canada do have some agreements about child custody, but they are not strongly enforceable. I flew to Malaysia immediately. I found Kumar and Maya at his parents' house in Selangor. I demanded he give Maya back to me. He refused. He said Malaysian courts would decide custody, not Canadian courts. Maya was a Malaysian citizen through him. This was her home now. I contacted a Malaysian family lawyer, a woman named Aisha who had experience with international custody cases. She asked me if Kumar was Muslim. I said yes. He had converted recently. She asked if Maya had been converted to Islam. I said absolutely not. I would never allow that. We had fought about it constantly. Aisha's face went very serious. She said, "Are you sure she has not been converted? Because in Malaysia, a parent who converts to Islam can unilaterally convert their children to Islam without the other parent's knowledge or consent. You need to check immediately with the Islamic religious department to see if Kumar has registered Maya as Muslim." I felt sick. The next day I went to the Jabatan Agama Islam, the Islamic religious department. I asked if there was a conversion certificate for Maya Subramaniam. The clerk checked the computer system. She said yes. There was a certificate issued 2 months ago. Maya had been converted to Islam. Her Muslim name was Maryam binti Muhammad Kumar. I could not breathe. Kumar had converted our daughter without telling me, without my permission. She was 2.5 years old. She had no idea what Islam even was. And now she was officially Muslim according to Malaysian law. I confronted Kumar that night. He admitted it calmly, without any guilt. He said it was his right as a Muslim father to convert his children to Islam, that under Malaysian law, he did not need my permission, that Maya needed to be raised Muslim, and he was ensuring she would be. I was furious. I said he had violated my rights as her mother, that he had made a fundamental life decision for our daughter without consulting me. He said under Malaysian law, he had every right to do what he did. I filed for divorce and custody in Malaysian civil courts immediately. Aisha warned me this was going to get very complicated. She said because Kumar had converted to Islam and had converted Maya, he would likely try to argue that the Sharia courts should have jurisdiction over custody instead of the civil courts. And if the Sharia courts took the case, I would be at a massive disadvantage because Sharia courts almost always favor Muslim fathers over non-Muslim mothers. The divorce and custody process became a nightmare. Kumar filed a separate petition in the Sharia court, arguing that since he was Muslim and Maya was now Muslim, Islamic religious courts should handle their custody. The Sharia court agreed and issued an interim custody order giving Kumar full custody of Maya. Meanwhile, the civil court where I had filed also issued a custody order. Because Maya was so young, just 2.5 years old, and I had been her primary caregiver, the civil court gave me full custody. So now there were 2 contradictory custody orders. One from the civil court saying Maya should be with me. One from the Sharia court saying Maya should be with Kumar. Kumar took Maya and moved her to his parents' house. He said he was following the Sharia court order, which he claimed was valid. I went to the police and showed them my civil court order. They said they could not help me because there was also a Sharia court order. They said this was a legal dispute that had to be resolved through the courts. I went back to civil court to try to enforce my custody order. The judge said he sympathized with me, but that the civil court's authority over a Muslim child was now unclear because of conflicting appellate court decisions over the years. He said I needed to challenge Maya's conversion first. If I could get the conversion declared invalid, then the civil court would clearly have jurisdiction and my custody order would stand. So I filed a separate legal challenge to Maya's conversion. I argued that Kumar had no right to unilaterally convert her without my consent as her mother, that both parents should have to agree before a minor child's religion is changed. The case dragged on for over a year. Kumar's lawyers argued that under Article 12, Clause 4 of the Malaysian Federal Constitution, the word parent in singular form meant one parent's consent was sufficient. They said Kumar, as a Muslim father, had every right to convert Maya to Islam. They presented fatwas from Islamic religious scholars saying Muslim fathers have a duty to ensure children are raised Muslim. My lawyers argued that parent should be interpreted to mean both parents, that unilaterally converting a child violated the non-Muslim parent's rights, that it violated the child's rights to be raised in a neutral environment until old enough to choose. We presented international human rights standards. We presented expert testimony from child psychologists about the potential harm of imposing religion on young children without both parents' agreement. The civil court judge ruled in my favor. He said that for children born from a civil marriage where both parents were non-Muslim at the time, both parents' consent was required for religious conversion of the child. He declared Maya's conversion certificate null and void. He said Maya was not Muslim, and therefore the civil court had jurisdiction. My custody order stood. I thought I had won. I went to collect Maya from Kumar's parents' house with my custody order and police escorts. When we arrived, Kumar's parents said Maya was not there. Kumar had taken her somewhere. They claimed not to know where. I later found out Kumar had immediately appealed the civil court's decision to the Court of Appeal, and the Court of Appeal overturned the lower court ruling. They said that civil courts have no jurisdiction to decide whether someone is Muslim or not, that only Sharia courts can determine Muslim status. Since the Sharia court recognized Maya's conversion as valid, she was Muslim, and therefore, custody had to be decided by the Sharia court, not the civil court. But I could not participate in the Sharia court proceedings because I am not Muslim. Non-Muslims have no legal standing in Sharia courts in Malaysia. I was told I would have to convert to Islam if I wanted to argue my case there. I refused. I was not going to convert to a religion I did not believe in just to access a court system. That was insane. So I was stuck. The civil court said I had custody, but also said they could not enforce the order because the appellate court said they lacked jurisdiction. The Sharia court said Kumar had custody because Maya was Muslim, and I had no way to challenge the Sharia court ruling because I was not Muslim, and therefore had no standing. Kumar kept Maya hidden for 6 months. I had no idea where she was. I filed police reports. I hired private investigators. I went on local news pleading for help. Nothing worked. The police said it was a custody dispute, and they would not intervene when there were conflicting court orders. The government said they could not interfere between two different court systems. I finally located Maya through someone who saw her at a mosque kindergarten with Kumar's mother. The kindergarten was in Selangor. I went there. I was not allowed inside. The principal said Kumar had informed them I was not Muslim and therefore not allowed contact with Maya, that Maya was Muslim and needed to be raised in a proper Islamic environment. I could see Maya playing in the yard through the fence. She looked okay physically. She was wearing a little hijab. She was playing with other children. But when she saw me through the fence, she did not seem to recognize me. She was 3 years old. It had been 6 months. She had forgotten who I was. I went back to civil court and filed for habeas corpus, demanding that Maya be produced in court and that I be allowed to see her. The judge issued the order. Kumar was ordered to bring Maya to court. He brought her to the hearing. It was the first time I had seen her in 6 months. I started crying the moment I saw her. I tried to go to her. She hid behind Kumar's mother. She said in Malay, "Who is that lady? Why is she crying?" Kumar's mother said to her, "That is the lady who gave birth to you, but she is not Muslim, so she cannot take care of you properly. You are a Muslim girl, and you need to be with Muslims." The judge intervened. He said Kumar was in contempt for keeping Maya from me. He said regardless of the religious issues, I was still her mother and had a right to see her. He ordered supervised visitation, 2 hours per week at a family center. That was 3 years ago. I have been seeing Maya for 2 hours per week ever since, when Kumar does not cancel. She is 6 years old now. She speaks mostly Malay and Tamil, very little English anymore. She has been taught that I am not her real mother because I am not Muslim, that her name is Mariam, not Maya, that she is a good Muslim girl. When I bring her books in English, she struggles to read them. When I try to tell her about Canada, about my family, about the life we used to have, she looks confused. To her, she has always been Mariam. She has always lived with daddy and grandmother. I am just this sad foreign lady who visits her sometimes and cries a lot. The legal battle continues. My case eventually went to the federal court, Malaysia's highest court. In 2018, the federal court had issued a landmark ruling in a very similar case called the Indira Gandhi case. A Hindu woman whose ex-husband had converted to Islam and converted their children without her consent. The federal court ruled that unilateral conversion of children from a civil marriage was unconstitutional, that both parents must consent, that conversion certificates issued without both parents' consent were null and void. It was supposed to be a huge victory for mothers like me. When the ruling came down, I thought finally, I would get Maya back. The highest court in the country had said what Kumar did was wrong, but enforcing the ruling has been nearly impossible. Many Islamic religious authorities in different Malaysian states have refused to accept the federal court's decision. They say federal civil courts cannot override Islamic law, that Muslim fathers have a religious right and duty to convert their children to Islam, that the federal court overstepped its authority. Even though the federal court ruled in favor of mothers in cases like mine, Kumar still has Maya. The police will not enforce my custody order. They say it is too complicated, too sensitive religiously. They do not want to create conflict between civil authorities and Islamic religious authorities. Kumar has also appealed every single ruling against him. He has filed motion after motion, delay after delay. His lawyers argue that the federal court precedent does not apply to Maya's specific case because of various procedural differences. Every time I think I am close to getting her back, there is another hearing, another delay, another appeal. I have spent over 150,000 Canadian dollars on legal fees. I sold my condo in Vancouver to pay for lawyers. My parents have helped as much as they can, but they are not wealthy. I work multiple jobs to afford the ongoing legal costs. And still, after 3 years, I only see Maya 2 hours per week when Kumar allows it. Last year, Kumar remarried. A Malay Muslim woman named Farah, who now helps raise Maya. Maya has started calling Farah Ibu, which means mother in Malay. During our visits, Maya sometimes slips and calls me Auntie Christina instead of Mommy. I am becoming a stranger to my own daughter. The woman I was 3 years ago, the happy physiotherapist with a sweet daughter and a seemingly stable life, feels like a different person from a different lifetime. That woman believed justice existed. That woman believed courts would protect parents and children. That woman did not understand how loopholes in religious law could be weaponized to steal a child. I have joined support groups for non-Muslim parents in Malaysia who have lost children to unilateral conversion. There are dozens of us: Hindu mothers, Chinese Buddhist mothers, Christian mothers, Western mothers like me, all with essentially the same story. Our Malaysian spouses converted to Islam, converted our children without our permission, got custody from Syariah courts, and we have been fighting ever since to get our children back. One woman, a Hindu mother named Deepa, has been fighting for 8 years. Her ex-husband converted their son to Islam without her knowledge, moved to a different state, and has completely cut her off from the child. Every court order in her favor has been ignored. The police will not enforce them. She has not seen her son in 5 years. She sends letters and gifts but has no way of knowing if he ever receives them. Another woman, a Chinese Buddhist mother named Sue, made national news. Her 3 children were taken by her ex-husband after he converted them to Islam. It took her 3 years to even locate them. They had been placed with a Muslim religious teacher who was raising them. When she finally found them and tried to get them back despite having civil court custody orders, she faced massive resistance. The case became highly publicized, and eventually, after enormous public pressure, she did get her children back. But she is one of very few success stories. These stories are devastating. And they keep happening, because Malaysia's dual legal system creates a massive exploitable loophole. A parent can convert to Islam, convert the children, and then forum shop between 2 different court systems, civil courts and Syariah courts. Whichever court gives them the outcome they want is the one they follow. And when the courts contradict each other, as they always do in these cases, the Muslim parent usually wins because Islamic authorities refuse to recognize civil court jurisdiction over Muslims. Non-Muslim mothers have almost no recourse. We cannot enter Sharia courts to argue our cases. Civil courts are supposed to have authority, but enforcement is weak or non-existent when religious sensitivities are involved. In 2017, there was a proposal to amend the law to require both parents' consent for conversion of children from civil marriages. It would have closed this loophole, but conservative Muslim groups protested loudly. They said it was an attack on Islam, that Muslim fathers have a God-given right to convert their children. The government backed down under pressure and withdrew the bill, so the loophole remains. Fathers keep converting children unilaterally. Mothers keep losing their children to a broken system. I think about what I would have done differently if I had known. If someone had warned me before I married Kumar that this could happen. If someone had explained Malaysia's dual legal system and how it could be weaponized against non-Muslim parents. Would I still have married him? Probably not. Would I still have moved to Malaysia? Definitely not. Would I still have agreed to let him take Maya there even for a visit? Never. But I did not know. No one warned me. And now I am paying the price. I want every Western woman, every non-Muslim woman, considering marrying a Malaysian man to understand what you are truly risking. Malaysia has a constitution that guarantees freedom of religion. Malaysia appears modern and progressive in many ways, but the dual legal system creates serious problems when parents have different religions. If your Malaysian spouse converts to Islam after marriage, they can convert your children without your knowledge or permission in most Malaysian states. And once those children are registered as Muslim, getting them back is nearly impossible. Civil courts will issue orders in your favor, but enforcement is unlikely. Islamic authorities do not recognize civil court rulings over Muslim children. Sharia courts will favor the Muslim parent, especially the Muslim father. You will be trapped in a legal nightmare. 2 court systems issuing contradictory orders, no clear resolution, and your children caught in the middle, being used as pawns in religious and political battles. This is not hypothetical. This is happening right now to mothers all over Malaysia, and the government has been very slow to address it despite growing public awareness and international pressure. The United Nations Committee on the Rights of the Child has urged Malaysia to prohibit unilateral conversion of children. Human rights organizations have condemned it as a violation of children's rights and women's rights. But Malaysia's government moves slowly on these issues because of political pressure from conservative Islamic groups. Change may eventually come. The federal court ruling in the Indira Gandhi case set an important precedent. Some states have started requiring both parents' consent for conversion. There is growing public discussion about the problem, but change is slow. And in the meantime, mothers like me keep losing our children. Maya will turn 18 in 12 years. When she is an adult, she can make her own choices about religion, about where she wants to live, about whether she wants a relationship with me. I hold on to hope that by then she will want to understand what really happened. that she will want to know her Canadian heritage, that she will want to have her mother in her life. But I have lost her childhood. I have lost the chance to raise her. I have lost years of bedtime stories and birthday parties and school events. I was erased from her life by a legal system that values religious identity over parental rights and children's well-being. Every week I show up for my 2-hour visit, if Kumar does not cancel. I bring toys and books. I try to speak to her in English, even though she answers in Malay. I tell her I love her, even though I am not sure she understands what that means coming from me anymore. Kumar watches from the family center waiting area. Sometimes he has this look on his face that says he won. He converted our daughter, used the legal system to take her from me, and there is nothing I can do about it. The civil court said I have custody. The Sharia court says Kumar has custody. Both orders exist simultaneously. Both courts claim authority. Neither court will recognize the other, and Maya is trapped between them. A little girl who has been told that the woman who gave birth to her is not really her mother, because they do not pray to God in the same way. This is my reality. This is the reality for dozens of non-Muslim mothers in Malaysia. We have been erased from our children's lives by a dual legal system that allows fathers to weaponize religion. That allows unilateral conversion without both parents' consent. That refuses to enforce court orders when religious authorities object. I am still fighting. I will never stop fighting. But I am also realistic. The system is designed to favor the Muslim parent. The political will to fix this problem is weak. And every day that passes is another day. Maya forgets who I really am. If you are going through something similar, please know you are not alone. There are organizations fighting for legal reform. There are support groups where mothers share their experiences. There are lawyers who specialize in these cases. You do not have to face this nightmare alone. And if this story opened your eyes to something you did not know was happening, please share it. Please help other women understand the risks before they marry someone from Malaysia, before they have children there, before they find themselves trapped in a legal system that does not protect their rights as mothers. Like this video, subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications, so you do not miss more stories about mothers fighting impossible custody battles around the world. Thank you for listening. Thank you for caring. Thank you for being here.